Alright then, let's do this. Hearthstone Boomsday Project Card Review. Flubidinous Floop. 6 out of 5 stars. This card will have to be nerfed within the month of the expansion because it's gonna break the game. That's why I give it 6 out of 5. Melkhior Druid is going to be too strong, and Hadronox could also be broken. Next, Flubidinous Floop. No, Floop's Glorious Gloop. 1 star. The reason is you'll want to use this in a token druid. Why would you want to gain mana when you can just Savage Roar and kill your opponent? Next, Dream Petal Florist. I don't know. 5 or 4. Five stars. It's going to be a partner in crime in this new overpowered druid decks. Juicy Psych Melon, 5 cards. 5 stars. More likely. Also, draws you the Dream Petal Florist. That's 7 drop. 9 drop is Melkhior or Hadronox. 8 drop is Lich King. 10 drop is whatever. Tyrantras. It's too strong. Mulch Muncher. 1 star. Trinits are not going to be a thing. 1 star. Trinits are not going to be a thing. 1 star. Trinits. LOL. Gloop Sprayer. Too greedy. 1 star. Summon a copy of each adjacent minion. If you're hoping that both of your minions that you want to copy, if you're hoping they both are going to survive, that means you're expecting too much. And if you're hoping for some crazy setup, make your minions in your hand cheaper somehow, then play them, then copy this. There's easier ways to make some crazy combo and OTK your opponent than this. Landscaping. Is this going to be used in the token druid, and how relevant is token druid now, and how relevant is it going to be? At some point token druid was really good. In the later stages of the Witchwood meta, or should I say Spiteful Nerf meta, it fell off in popularity. Summon 2/2 Treants. I mean, it's not bad by itself. 2 stars. It might be used in Token Druid, and Token Druid is not so hot right now. Biology Project, 5 stars. Let's OP Druid decks abuse mana ramp even more. Flark's Boom, that's it for Druid. A quick overview. His strongest archetypes got even stronger, and my prediction is that it's going to be nerfed within a month of the expansion, and its other archetype, which would be like some sort of giant druid or token druid, doesn't look all that good. And there's Gloop Sprayer, which is just bad. Okay, Hunter. Flark's Boomzooka. Summon 3 minions from your deck, they attack enemy minions, then die. Sounds like you could use it in some sort of Death Rattle or Katrina Hunter. But they run stepped trackers. You don't want to pull them. The Egg Hunter runs that Death Rattle guy. Terror Scale Stalker. I gotta look that up. Yep. Terror Scale Stalker. I meant this card. And it's... you don't want to pull that. What else can you do? No. I'm done. It messes up your Katrina stuff, it messes up your egg stuff, and you can't build deck revolving around one single card. Therefore, 1 star. I picked the wrong tool. 1 star. Boom, Master Flark. Summon 4 Goblin Bombs. Goblin Bombs have Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. You pay 7 mana for a 5/5 and then get 4 more tokens, which deal 8 damage if you activate them all. There's easier ways to deal 8 damage. Goblin Bombs are max. But I don't think Hunter's got enough max synergies to make it worth 1 star. Necromechanic. Your Death Rattles trigger twice. That would be a reprint of Lord Rivendell, which had the same text, but was 4 mana and 1/7 in stats. Baron Rivendell. I'm gonna pull him up right now. Or even there. Oh, it's even there. Whatever. There is very similar card. Actually, the wording is a bit different. Yeah, it's a different wording. Baron Rivendell says minions. Necromechanic says your Death Rattles. Which means that Necromechanic's wording includes your Death Rattle weapons, essentially. I don't think any other card has a Death Rattle. However, Hunters don't have a Death Rattle weapon, so it's not that relevant. This Necromechanic is better than Baron Rivendell because you can put 2 of them in a deck and rely more on it and create more synergies. However, it's too expensive. And Spirit Singer Umbra is better. I didn't play that much Death Rattle Hunters. Not the Katrina variant, not the Egg variant, Devilsaur Egg that is. Spirit Singer Umbra is cheaper. Yeah. And you don't have to trigger the Death Rattle, you just have to summon the minion. I mean, you can play Necromechanic and hope it lives on the board and then do it later. I don't think it's gonna work. 1 star. Moving on, Goblin Prank. Give a friendly minion +3/+3 and rush. If it dies, it dies at the end of the turn. This card gets a controversial rating of 0 stars. It's actually terrible. You'd be better running any other card. Blood Thunder Raptor is better than this. Give a friendly minion rush. So you need to play a guy and then rush him. The +3 component of it is +3 health is absolutely irrelevant since it dies anyways. If it doesn't die with the rush, it's crap. It's actual crap. Spider Bomb. Magnetic. Death Rattle, destroy random enemy minion. Great Death Rattle. It's a control style Death Rattle. Hunter's never been able to pull off a control archetype. Doesn't have the supporting cards to make it work. And I don't see too many mech synergies in Hunter. 1 star. Great card, 1 star. Not for Hunter. Fireworks Tech. Give a friend mech +1/+. If it has a Death Rattle, trigger it. Obviously works with Spider Bomb, but Spider not enough to make it viable. Therefore, one star. Am I recording? I guess I am. Cybertech Chip. Give our minions Death Rattle, add random mech to your card. We had a similar card that gave you beasts, which are much better for Hunter. It cost 1 more, and it was avoided like a fucking plague. Value doesn't work in Hearthstone. 1 star. Bomb Toss. Deal 2 damage, summon a Goblin Bomb. So this is like... What does this remind me of? What the other direct damage spells does Hunter use? They used Quick Shot, which was 3 damage and you ignore the effect for the most part. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. There's Wing Blast, which you can do 1 mana 4 damage or 4 mana 4 damage but doesn't go face. This one goes face. And you have the infamous Kill Command. And you have the Flanking Strike, which are played currently and in great... They're played a lot. Flanking Strike and Kill Command, and they are much better than Bomb Toss. You have no reason to run this card. 1 star. Venomizer, Magnetic Poisonous, 2 mana 2/2. Poisonous. Poisonous was never run in Constructed. It's gonna be a great arena card, but shitty. It's going to be a decent arena card. Not great, decent. Shitty Constructed card, 1 star. Secret Plan, discover a secret. It's definitely going to be played in Spell Hunter, although I'm not sure how much. Would you put 1 Secret Plan or 2 Secret Plans? Haven't played much of Secret Hunter myself. I rate it... I mean, Secret Hunter is a decent deck right now, and this is a maybe card in it, and maybe like 1 copy of, so I'll give it 3 stars. A quick review of Hunter cards. I review them more or less mostly 1 stars. They have 0 stars in Goblin Prank, and Secret Plan is going to work for Spell Hunters. Yeah, Hunter is one of the mech classes in this expansion, but they already have their tribe. Beast is their main tribe, and we don't have like a bridging card that like makes use of both beasts and mechs. I think that's a great miscalculation. I mean, you could have done much better. Like with Cybertech chip, you have like these chips on the board. Maybe they had some combined mech and beast synergies. You're not going to put these terrible cards to put in Bomb Toss and to get rid of, I don't know, Kill Command, Animal Companion. There's no fucking way. Necromechanic is too tough to pull off. It belongs in an archetype, or two archetypes actually. They're quite different, Katrina Hunter and Egg Hunter. But I don't think it's gonna fit in any of them. There's better cards. Play Dead. It's just that it's just better than this. Anyways, moving on. Mage cards. Luna's Pocket Galaxy. Change the cost of minion in your deck to 1. I really like the idea of this card, and there's some stuff you can do with it. Play a deck with Raven Familiars to pull out your Luna's Pocket Galaxy and make that your only. Oh, fuck off. Make that your only spell. And then put in a bunch of minions with card draw, cycle through your deck really fast, get Luna's Pocket Galaxy, play more minions, Minion Mage. You could play a lot of elementals and card draw minions. But it's going to be too weak. I don't think it's gonna work. We had like minion based mages before. We had minion based mages in the last expansion with Archmage Arguel? Archmage Arguable, I'd say, if you catch my drift. That didn't work too well with the Book of Spectres and with all the elementals. I'm just speaking. I'd like to a new architect to pop up, but speaking from past experiences, I don't think that's likely. I don't think Minion Mage rather is a good idea on Star. Stargazer Luna. After you play the rightmost card in your hand, draw a card. It's going to be played in Tempo Mage. 3 mana, 2/4, draw a card is... If you do it only once, it's already good. You just have to play it on like... you can play it on turn 3 and hope that it survives. It's not that unreasonable. 3 mana, 4 health guy. Why not? Just play it for tempo. And when you play your other cards, late game, it's a card drawing engine. For Tempo Mage, does it make Aluneth obsolete, or does the existence of Aluneth makes this card obsolete? I'm not sure, but I think Tempo Mage is gonna use that. Tempo Mage is not the top tier deck right now, so I guess that means this card is a 4-star card. Or maybe 3. It competes with Aluneth, that's the problem. But you can play it on... It's more flexible than Aluneth. You can play it on turn 3. Yeah, give me 4 stars. Astromancer. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your hand size. Now, we had Spiteful Summoner. Now it's nerfed to 7 mana. Hold on, just a minute. I'm going to suffocate. Right, Astromancer. And we know from experience from Spiteful Summoner that you want it to summon you 10 cost minions and 8 cost minions, which means your hand size should be 9 if you want to summon a 8 cost minion, 9 when you have the Astromancer, and you'd have to have an 11 cards in your hand in order to play this and then summon a 10 drop. I mean, sure, you can have like a loot hoarder on the board, have it die, and then have 10 cards. It's extremely difficult to pull off, and meaning you can only play this when you should only play this when you have exactly 9 cards in your hand. Too hard to pull off. 1 star. Also, it embraces the big hand mage or hand mage archetype, which I'm not sure that's gonna work. Unexpected results. Summon 2 random 2 cost minions. Improved by spell damage. This card is too bad on its own. Without spell damage, it's super shitty. If it costs 3 mana for the basic one, actually if it costs 3 mana, then it would be... This card should have cost 3 mana, 1 star. Too expensive. You have random 2 cost minions. You're gonna get like 2/2 and a 3/2, maybe a loot hoarder 2/1. It's not that great stats, and you already have landscaping in Druid, which summons you treants, but I have the treant tribe or pseudo tribe. But this can get stronger, but it's a condition. Yeah, it's overpriced. Should have been 3 mana. Moving on, Meteorologist. For each card in your hand, deal 1 damage, 1 star. Hand Mage is not gonna work, and its stats are terrible. It costs a bunch, and the effect is not that great. You either want this damage to go to the face or to the enemy. If it said minions, enemy minions, maybe we'd have something to talk about, but like this, no way. Celestial Emissary, Melkhior. Your next spell this turn has spell damage +2. Your next spell this turn has spell damage +2. I really like this card. Spell damage +2. I mean, it's a Melkhior spell damage. You're not expecting this card to survive anyways, and you never get so much spell damage. Blizzard was so cheap with spell damage cards. I mean, more than one spell damage at a time. So this is like a completely new ground. One thing to note: if you ever play this, don't play Celestial Emissary coin into something because you're casting +2 spell power coin, and that's really a suboptimal line of play. Do I think a deck is going to run this? Tempo Mage. I mean, I love this card. But I don't know. One star. I love the concept, but I can't think of a deck to put it in. Astral Rift. Add 2 random minions to your hand. That's another hand mage concept, and just to put random crap in your hand. First you pick this crappy card. It's not good enough. Random minions. That's a lot of possibilities. 1 star. Cosmic Anomaly, spell damage +2. I think Celestial Emissary is better than this one. I mean, how many turns do you think he's gonna live? How many spells do you think you can cast with this? 2? 3? 4? You're only going to cast 1 spell. And this body is terrible. I mean, his body is terrible too, but it's just a 2-drop. And you use it to cast 1 spell and you're done. This guy, it's harder to cast one spell with him. And it's too optimistic to expect you're going to cast more than 1 spell with the 4 mana, 3 health guy. 1 star. Research Project. Each player draws 2 cards. Big Mage, Big Spell Mage is not going to use it. Hand Mage is not going to be a thing. Maybe like super aggressive mages. Like if you make a Tempo Mage, but even more aggressive, or like Murlocs or some crazy stuff, and you put in Research Project, you don't even care. You give your opponent's card. You give your opponent some cards, and then you kill him before he can use them. It has some potential. Aggro Mage. Do we have any other card that facilitates that? Stargazer Luna could push it. Makes sense. Is Aggro Mage going to be a thing? Or is it good enough to put in Tempo Mage? No, Tempo Mage has better cards. Stargazer Luna and Eluneth. He doesn't need it. Oh yeah, Big Spell Mage can't use it because it's a cheap spell. And Hand Mage is not going to be a thing, so 1 star. Wait, Aggro Mage. It's not going to be a thing. 1 star. Shooting Star. Deal 1 damage to a minion, then 1 to next to it. Doesn't go face. 1 star. Big Spell Mage can't use it. Tempo Mage doesn't want to use it. If you had some sort of... I mean, this is good with spell damage, but there's not going to be a spell damage mage. One star. Paladin. Kangor's Endless Army. Resurrect 3 friendly mechs. They keep any magnetic upgrades. This could have been a good OTK card if we had any mechs with rush, with charge. So you make a couple of giant mechs, have them die, prepare your OTK, draw into Kangor's Endless Army, resurrect your charge mechs, and kill your opponent. Since that's not possible, maybe you can go for some good value, but then you want to play 3 very specific mechs. Like you have to play a mech deck and play only big guys, so you're sure you don't revive like this guy, like a Glowtron. You played at turn 1 and then he died, and then you play 7 mana, you get 2 Glowtrons and I don't know, Mechanawag. One star. Crystal Smith Kangor. Divine Shield, Lifesteal, your healing is double. So this card is usually going to heal you for 4. If it said 2 mana, you do 2 pings, Heal yourself for 4. At least for 4. And you get a 2 pings. In. If you manage to buff this guy with what's it called, Blessing of Might or Blessing of Kings, he's gonna kill you for a bunch. What paladin decks do we have? We have Odd Paladin, but this card is even. It's been so long since we had any sort of a control paladin, and this is basically a cheap control paladin style card. I don't think there's gonna be a control paladin coming back anytime soon. Not with this set, at least. 1 star for now, but I like the design. It's a really cool card. Glowstone Technician. We still didn't get over the hand buff mechanics from the... what's it called? Gadgetan. Six mana, 3/4, 1 star. Hand buffing doesn't work in this game. Prismatic Lens. Draw a minion and a spell from your deck, swap their costs. This is a really interesting concept, and you might think that you should be able to do something with this. So there's 2 approaches you can do. You can even play all cheap spells, like you have 1 mana secrets, and you put in 2 prismatic lens. They're relatively cheap, and only big minions. And then you somehow cheat out those giant minions for lesser mana and profits somehow. I don't know, doesn't seem that good. Like turn 4, you played some secrets, you played... Can you play anything else than secrets for 3 turns? Turn 1 play secrets, turn 2 you play... What's the cheap spell you can play? You play Blessing of Wisdom on their guy. Turn 3 you play another secret, press your hero power, and then turn 4 you do this, and you draw a 1 mana... What minion would be broken if you drew it for 1 mana on turn 5? Lich King? Fine. Sarah? Okay. Like, it would have to be even stronger than that. Because you could get it for 1 mana, but you're not playing it before turn 5. You can just play Druid and ramp up to turn 5 and then play whatever the fuck you want. The other approach is you play only cheap minions, like 1 and 2 drops, maybe a 3 drop, and then put in a giant spell or giant spells. Giant spell would be Dino Size. Giant spell that, I should say, giant spell that synergizes with playing a cheap deck, like Dino Size. And then you charge a bunch of stats into his face. Dino Size is 10-10 or 8-8. What's Dino Size? It's a 10-10. 8 mana, make it 10-10. You could make a 1 mana or 2 mana Dino Size and then do it. What could also happen is that you... I guess you could make another... You can draw another Prismatic Lens and make the Prismatic Lens cost 1 or 2, and then you do it the second time and then you draw your Dino Size. And you can just do a Dino Size in your hand, and then you're not the happiest man in the world, because you wouldn't play Dino Size on its own. The second variant sounds more plausible because you're playing an aggro deck. Oh yeah, and like you're drawing 2 cards, you're making one really cheap and really good, and you're making the other one trash. So it's really weird, makes my head hurt. Is it going to make Prismatic Lens Dino Size Aggro Paladin? I don't think so. 1 star. You can't play any other stuff, that's the problem. You can't play any other spells. You can't put in the Blessing of Might. You can't put in Divine Favor. It limits you so much if you want to base the deck around it. Therefore 1 star. I really like the design. Shrink Ray. Set the attack and health of all minions to 1. So it's an extra quality that costs extra and has some extra utility. It's odd costed, so you can you can do it in Odd Paladin, but I don't think Odd Paladin wants to run this, and I don't think we're going to have any sort of a control Paladin. Therefore, and the quality is better. But like, maybe if you had the control Paladin, this would be a decent card. Like if you wished, I wish I could have more than 2 equalities. It still works with, it's a 7 mana board clear with Pyromancer, and the 9 mana board clear with Consecration, but we don't have a control Paladin right now. And I don't think these cards are gonna make a control Paladin, so 1 star. Anoia Module, Magnetic, Divine Shield, Taunt. It's obviously an homage to Anoiatron, but since Anoiatron we got an even more annoying annoyance, for Paladin at least, which is but we fight? What does she say? She is some protector. Righteous Protector. Yes. This is a better version of a Noyo card. She should have been. She should have the clown nose and a funny hat. She does what Anoiatron does, but better. She doesn't have the mech tribe, but it's not relevant. You could make it like a buff. If you had a spell card that says 4 mana, give minion Magnetic, Divine Shield, Taunt. No, give a minion +2/+4, Divine Shield and Taunt, and it has to be a mech. Give a friendly mech, Divine Shield, Taunt +2/+4 for 4 mana. And then you can also play it standalone. Standalone, it's like that other guy that never sees play, Silvermoon Shall Not Fall. 4 mana 3/3 Divine Shield, non-mech. Even comparing it just to that card tells you of its power level. And as a buff card, no. I don't even like it. We have better Anoiatrons. Righteous Protector is a better Anoiatron than this card. 1 star. Christology. Draw 2 1-attack minions from your deck. Hey, you can draw Righteous Protectors. 2 mana, draw 2 cards. That's like an aggro Paladin card. But is Divine Favor better? Divine Favor draws you 3 mana. Yeah, sometimes it fumbles, sometimes it gets you 1 card, sometimes it gets you 2 cards, sometimes it gets you 5 cards. And you don't have to build a deck around Divine Favor, you're just playing a an aggro deck and put it in and draw, cast all your stuff when you run out, refuel. With this, you have to keep in mind the one attack minions. You're gonna put in Righteous Protectors, Argent Squires. You're gonna put in maybe Glowtrons because it's better. No, you're not gonna put in Glowtrons. You would put Glowtron in an odd Pally deck. What are there? Are there any one attack minions which are not 1-drops that are actually good? What about some control? Excuse me. Some control cards with 1 attack. Blood Mage Thalmos? Question mark. It's not enough to make a control paladin. You'll need a like a controlled style win condition, which I don't see anywhere. I mean, Kangor's Endless Army, but no. Magnetic upgrades. Another module would work with Kangor, but with Kangor you want like Death Rattle and Magnetic Mechanoag. But Mechanoag is so tough to kill. It's too healthy. Christology 1 star, and we already moved on to Mechanoag, which is to also another curious thing. You can't put this in. One application of this would be to put it in a Kaleseth styled paladin, but you can't since it's got exactly 2 mana, and then you buff like 0 attack cards like Mechanoag, which wouldn't be relevant, and then you make it 1 attack, and then you draw it, and then maybe you do something with it. Mechanoag, it's cool. I like the concept of a really big egg. If this were like a neutral card, it would completely break. Maybe it will be OP in like Hunter. Maybe Hunter could use it. Maybe not. No, for Devil's Oreg is better for Hunter. You get a beast. It's such a huge 8/8 Robosaur, which is a mech, but we don't have Death Rattle mech synergies or something, or Death Rattle. Let's concentrate on Paladin. What synergizes with Death Rattle? Kangor's Endless Army, and then you get a fucking. I mean, if you magnetize it, it has like at least 8 health. You just magnetize Glowtron to it. It's 8 health egg. How the fuck are you going to break it? 1 star. Really cool, but not for Paladin. And not enough mech synergy, not enough Death Rattle synergies. Auto Defense Matrix, 1 star. Ever since we nerfed, ever since Mysterious Challenger got nerfed, Paladins never played Secrets. I don't think he didn't get any good secret cards this expansion. And this one is like okay, it's a little better. It's a noble sacrifice with some upsides and some downsides. It's not going to change the secret stuff. Glowtron. It's better than sometimes you play what's it called? Let's see. I want to see the latest odd paladin list if they are running Dire Mole. Because this card is better than Dire Mole, because on turn 2 you can choose to buff it 1 to each other, so make it, you can choose to play it as a 2/6, or you can play 2 1/3s depending on the situations. What do you think? What do you think is better at the time? And odd paladin, how do they roll there currently? They don't run the moles, but maybe it's better than Argent Squire even. Odd Paladin is a really strong card, and this card has potential. Oh yeah, it's, you rush the 1 damage. You're actually doing more damage if you magnetize on it. Are you gonna play any other mechs in an Odd Paladin deck? And my answer is no. Mechano Egg. No fucking way. Is it better than Argent Squire? Yeah, maybe. It will definitely be tested. Doesn't have enough synergy. It only synergizes with itself. That's the problem. So like 3 stars? It could fit in Odd Paladin. It's questionable whether it's better than Argent Squire. And even if it is by a bit, it's not a huge upgrade. So I don't know. So there's the Paladin cards. I rated them all 1 star, except Glowtron, which finds a place in, maybe finds a place in Odd Paladin. Moving on. Priest. Xerx's Cloning Gallery. Summon 1 copy of each minion in your deck. So you cannot realistically hope for this to pull you like any crazy stuff from your deck, like some combo. I couldn't think of any. Not that I've given it much thought, but still. Works with Quest Priest, which is a meme status deck right now, and by turn 9 you can do it with better regular ways. Someone's copies. Each minion in your deck gives you, so it gives you 7 1/1s. And then you exploit like crazy tetrapple effects. That's the idea. But with Quest Priest, you want to play cheap death rattle guys like Loot Hoarders and Plated Beetle and with this you want insane high cost death rattle cards. I mean high cost death rattle effects. And you need to get to 9 mana and not draw those effects before this card. Helps you complete the quest, but you can do it by turn 9 already. 1 star. Xerx Master Cloner, Death Rattle. If you cast any spells in this minion, you need to resummon it. So this would fit in a type of mage which uses a lot of cheap spells, like you use Radiant Elemental and Lyra and this guy and some Power Word Shields and Topsy-Turvy, and make this guy draw a bunch of stuff with Lyra, make this guy an infinite cairn, infinite and a bit stronger cairn, and that's, we found like 6 cards for the deck. What's the rest of the deck? You want to do a combo deck with this, and you have some value with this, and a combo deck with Topsy-Turvy and this guy. You use this guy as a contingency, like a bit of value. Contingency in combo priest. Obviously you don't want to cast it. You don't want to cast. But yeah, in combo priest you don't want to waste your spells on this guy. You want to cast them on you want to cast all your spells on one guy and then make a 50-50 standard minion. Oh, I mean, with Topsy-Turvy it's going to be like 50 and 53 minion or something like that, and bash it in your opponent's skull. Well, which other archetype? Control Priest. Priests cannot use Azalina to counter Shadowwalk, so a pure control deck seems unlikely. 1 star. Reckless Experimenter. Minions you play cost 3 less, but die at the end of your turn. Now, as a Quest Priest, you play this in turn 5, you dump your hand board, you can play your Gargoyles if you're into that. This synergizes as well with Gargoyles. Gargoyles, Good Hoarders, Thalnos, Plated Beetle. And get your quest done. I like the idea of cheap minions in Quest Priest. I use them myself, like I cut a Rotten Apple Bomb and put in Gargoyles, and I like it much better that way. I like this card. I like Quest Priest, but Quest Priest is not not a really strong deck. Loses to Shadowwalk, which defines our meta, which is played so much that if you have any hopes of playing slow meme control decks, you just die. Wait a second. With Omega Medic and Azalina, you just play Omega Medic on 3 mana 3. Does that make Quest Priest more viable? You play Omega Medic at some point, and then you're fighting a Shadowwalk. Then you steal his 1 mana Shadowwalk and play Omega Medic. You can heal for 30 the first turn. No, it's not viable. You can't overheal, you need armor, not Omega Medic. Just a moment. But never mind that, I got carried off. Reckless Experimenter, 2 stars. I think it's going to be cool in Quest Priest, although I'm not too sure, and Quest Priest is a meme deck. So it's only 2 stars for Reckless Experimenter. Power Word Replicate. Choose a friendly minion, summon a 5/5 copy of it. That's terrible, I think. Similar card is that 6 mana 5/5. Shadow Clone, Shadow Visage. Back in Resurrect Priest. What happens if I type 6 mana 5/5? 5/5. Spell. I got it! Shadow Essence. It's similar to this. This one costs more, but you can put only like key minions in your deck and then it summons it. This one requires you to have a minion on the board and then you make a copy of it. You could play like a really cheap guy and then you make him into a 5/5 guy and retain the effects, like Test Subject, for example. Then you would have 6 mana, 2 5/5s. If you power replicate a 1-drop, that's 2 cards, and you get 6 mana 5/5s. And then you have Test Subject, which gives you back those 2 power word replicates, and then you need additional 1-drops to put it on. I mean, you're not going to beat anyone with 5/5 minions. 1 star. Omega Medic. If you have 10 mana crystals, restore 10 health to your hero. This card is okay. And okay in Hearthstone usually means that it's not gonna be played, it needs to be broken. This is not broken by any means. I mean, you have the Quest Priest and you can make a card that heals you, that overheals you to 40. Admittedly, it's a bit different to pull off. This doesn't have that many conditions. You're gonna reach 10 mana eventually, or you're not gonna reach 10 mana because there's aggressive decks that kill you before you ever reach 10 mana. Am I recording? Thank God. And you can play it as a 3 mana 3/4, which is not that bad if the situation calls for it. Anyways, Quest Priest doesn't need it. I explained before that Azalina and heal for 30 doesn't really work. If you're gonna do Azalina stuff, you might as well play Team Quest Priest and then heal yourself to 40, but that's not enough versus Shadow Walk. I don't think it is. But if it were enough, then we'd do that, and you wouldn't mess around with Omega Medic. What else priest decks do we have? Control Priest, Dragon Priest, Combo Priest, doesn't fit in any archetype, and this card is not good by itself to make an archetype. One star. Extra arms. Give a minion +2/+2. Add more arms to your card that has +2/+2. So it's a mediocre card that gives you more mediocre cards. Let me just pull it up real quick. Oh crap. So you play this card and then you get this card. Basically it says draw a card, draw another shitty card. Extra arms, more arms. 3 mana +2/+2. Even Shaman currently plays a card that's 2 mana 2/2. It's a tempo oriented deck, and you have a lot of targets because your totems are only 1 mana. You'll always have a token to place it on, and it costs less. And sometimes you have an elemental and you can use it on your elemental to get extra value. You get the random elemental. Random elemental is better than another overpriced buff card. If it said +3/+3, then maybe there would be some discussion. Or if it costs 2 mana, but not like this. And it doesn't fit in any priest archetypes. Quest Priest doesn't need it. I mean, Quest Priest is the only cool priest archetype. Control Priest. No. Control Priest fucks around for 10 turns, then plays Alexstrasza and Shadow Visions, 4 Mind Blasts and chucks them in your face. That's Control Priest, and he doesn't need this, and Quest Priest doesn't need this, and this card is too shitty to make an archetype by itself. 1 star. Test subject. Death Rattle, return any spells you cast and these minions to your hand. So this card enables some crazy combos, but I don't think that combo is gonna be any good. Or is it? You can OTK with this card. You need to play that and two Radiant Elementals, and then have Topsy-Turvy and Vivid Nightmare and Divine Favor and Pig. Stontas Boar. That's a test subject. That's one card. 2 Radiants. That's 2 more cards. Vivid Nightmare. 4. Divine Spirit. It's a 6 card OTK and it doesn't go through Taunt. I mean, maybe it goes through 1 Taunt if you can make 2 Piggies. I think you could make 2 Piggies with buffs, so that 1 pig could break a taunt and another pig could hit the face. 6 card OTK combo. Is that going to work? And how much mana do you need? 4, 5, 6. Not too much mana. Like 6 or 7 mana. Huh, technically you could do it at turn 6 if you're really lucky. 6 or 7. I'm not sure. So there is OTK potential. Is it better than other OTK decks? Like Malygos or Shudderwalk? So this isn't susceptible to disruption. You can disrupt Malygos with weapon eating stuff, and Warrior got another weapon eating which could be relevant, and you can disrupt Shudderwalk. Only recently Warrior could do it. I think Warriors is the only one who can do it, but you can't disrupt this. So that makes it better than Malygos and Malygos Druid and Shudderwalk Shamans. But is it reasonable? I can't tell. It needs to go through testing phase. It needs to be tested. I'm not right. Just because this is so difficult. I'm gonna give it 2 stars just because it has potential. It's not complete garbage. It has OTK potential. You have to recognize that. But I'm not sure if it's gonna. I really can't tell. Only the meta can give you those answers. There's certainly going to be an OTK priest with this. The question is how strong is it going to be? And I'm guessing not too strong. Or maybe it's going to be a meta-defining deck. Priest, you need a bunch of card draw. How are you gonna draw your cards? Insane card draw with Priest. Northshire's Circle of Healing. And then your hand's gonna get cluttered because you need to keep so many cards in your hand for the combo. I mean, you can keep them in the mulligan and you have nothing to play. No, it's good to keep them in the mulligan because you don't need too much mana. Combo Priest. Is it gonna break the meta? Is it gonna be the deck to beat? Oh crap. This is really hard. Yeah, I'm going to guess it's not going to break the meta, and I'm giving it 2 stars. It has potential. Maybe it is. It's really hard to evaluate. Deathringer. Death Rattle, draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck. 2 mana, 2/1 mech. It's a 2 mana, draw a card for Quest Priest. Quest Priest is a meme deck, and it's going to run this card 100%. Therefore, is Quest Priest gonna get any better than it already is? I'm not sure. And Quest Priest can survive Shudderwalk. It's a 2 star. It's gonna be played in Quest Priest. Opponent device. Discover a copy of a minion in your opponent's deck. 1 star. No, I'm rating is 0 stars. It's a terrible, terrible card. No, it's not detrimental to your play. It's 1 star. Really bad card, but I mean, you have Hallucinate from Rogue. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I haven't even checked if this card pulling does it display on the stream. Oh, it does. That's good news. Anyways, so Hallucination is a bit worse because you get a class card. Cards you would put in your deck are generally better than random class cards. Generally. But you put cards in your deck because they have synergies with your deck. When you take stuff from other people's decks, you're not gonna have any synergies with that. And Hallucination was played briefly in some rogues just so you can have a 1 mana card, just activate your combos, cycle with Gadgetzan, Auctioneer. There's some utility in Hallucination, and it's not played anymore, I think, in a deck. Cloning device costs 1 more, which is in this case twice as much, and its effect is maybe slightly better than Hallucination. 1 star. Topsy-Turvy. Combo Priest. Topsy-Turvy, 0 mana, soak minions, attack and health. Combo Priest, Divine Spirit, Inner Fire Combo Priest was almost irrelevant. Maybe in some, for a short amount of time. In the Witchwood expansion, Combo Priest was relevant. But it definitely has potential. Whenever Skulking Geist comes back into the meta, Combo Priest suffers. Even if it's not the primary target for Skulking Geist. It's a collateral damage for him. So Topsy-Turvy. It's a buff on Inner Fire. Is the Combo Priest gonna be any good? It's at least 2 stars. Let's start with that because it goes with Test Subject. Enables some crazy combos. Does it push Quest Priest? Not Quest Priest, sorry. OTK Priest, Combo Priest to be really good. Also has some utility. You could use Inner Fire utilities so you can, if you have extra Inner Fires, you can nerf your opponent's minions, decrease their attack. You can also do it with this if something has high attack, low health. Yeah, you would cast when you use it as a nerf, you just want to survive, not to take damage. And if there's like, I don't know, 9 attack, 2 health enemy minion, and you just need to survive a few more turns to pull off your combo, you just switch it to 2-9 to attack 9 health, and then ignore it, and then build up your stuff, and then kill him with Topsy-Turvy. And it being 0 mana is so good. I think this might push Combo Priest back into viability. Also, no. I wanted to say Lyra, but Lyra is not played that much anymore. It might push Combo Priest back in viability. But how viable is going to be Combo Priest? Just because Topsy-Turvy or Test Subject. It's better than Test Subject. let's say it like this. Let's say it like this. If I gave the subject 2 stars and I'm not sure if it's gonna work, I'm giving this 3 stars. It has more utility than the subject, so it's a safer bet to give it 3 stars. Okay, we're done with Priest. It's got a really great card in Topsy-Turvy, and it's got some cards that make Quest Priest better, but Quest Priest, I don't see it as a really serious deck, but it has some really cool additions with Reckless Experimenter and Deadringer. Also, I played a lot of Quest Priest, and those I think the deck list can be very flexible. So there is going to be space for these additional cards. This subject has some potential, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. And other cards, I don't think we're going to see too much competitive play, or rather ranked constructed play, that is. Moving on. This is Rogue. Myra Rodspring. Discover Death Rattle minion, also gain its Death Rattle. So Rogue's got a Death Rattle theme this expansion. And you're more, with Discover mechanic, you're more likely to discover your class Death Rattles. So there's this guy. Death Rattle with 1/1 Poisonous Rush. It's like a removal, but it can't ignore. But it has to go through Taunt. So sometimes you'll fetch that. So if your card was this and copied this, you could just play this card for 4 mana and have this Death Rattle. For this card to be good, Rogue would need to have a really big Death Rattle card with a strong Death Rattle effect, so you can cheat it out. So there's a chance you can cheat it out with Myra, and you could like fish for it. Let's say if a Nubarak or whatever the Nerubian card was still in play, that would be a good that would be, you wouldn't put it in your deck. You would just want to discover it. A Nubarak, yeah. If this card were still in standard, you could fetch. This would be a really good Death Rattle to get. What others? Is Sherazan a Death Rattle card? But yeah, no, Nubarak and what about this? There's a high chance you get this Death Rattle. It's not that unreasonable. And then you revive Myra. Huh. Then you revive her. But if you wanted this Death Rattle, you would just play Sherazan. It has better stats. And it costs less. So no. Yeah, there's like thing you gain flexibility. You can choose depending on the situation which Death Rattle you want. You can also get some. There's neutral minions with good Death Rattles, like heal for 8, but you don't need healing in Rogue typically. There's I'm gonna Google big Death Rattle cards. And see what I get. They're mostly class. Devilsaur Egg is decent because you can What if we copy the Devil's Egg? Death Rattle. It's a 5 mana 4/2 Death Rattle summon a 5/5. That's decent. You wouldn't get it every time. If it said, if it were like, if it was worded like that, would it be good? 5 mana 4/2 Death Rattle 5/5. Maybe it's not game breaking, and you don't even get it every time. What else is there? I really should have started Hearthstone before this. Okay, I'm gonna come back to Myra. I think it's gonna be 1 star, but I just want to check some Death Rattles out first. Myra's Unstable Element. Draw the rest of your deck. First of all, the design and the concept of this card is awesome. There's some theories you could build a Melkhior deck with this. You draw all your combo cards for Melkhior, then you burn your deck, then you prepare the Melkhior combo, your deck is empty, you do this. There's a combo with Backstab, 2 Shadow Stabs, Melkhior and Voodoo Doll. Then you burn your deck, and then you win the game, Exodia style. But that's quite far-fetched. More realistic use for this is you play it in, you can put it in Odd Rogue because it's odd. Refuel for refueling, and you could play this in Miracle Rogue. Current Miracle Rogue is quite tempo oriented, so you could use this for like last ditch effort, get a bunch of cards when you're out of gas, and win the game quickly. Definitely has potential. Haven't played much of Rogue either. Would I put it in my Odd Rogue deck? I think it's gonna fit in Odd Rogue. Like you have to be a really aggressive. It will fit in a really aggressive style deck, which is Odd Rogue, and costs odd mana. And Odd Rogue is already, and has potential for some other stuff, and for Melkhior deck, which is going to be a meme, but you gotta have your memes, I guess. So I'm rating Myra's Unstable Element 5 stars. Mostly because of Odd Rogue. I think they're gonna run this. Necrium Vial. Trigger friendly's minions Death Rattle twice. Costs 5 mana. We can compare this with Play Dead, which is costs 1 mana and says trigger, just trigger a Death Rattle. 5 mana to trigger something twice. So if a deck like this were to pop up, you would just clear all of his Death Rattles and never give him the chance to do it, or run Silence. Or we have to have 10 mana and then... Let's be honest, you need to do an OTK with this. So if you were to play your cube on an empty board, then Shadow Step it and make it cost 3, it's not enough. And then you play a Leroy and Shadow Step him, and then you have a 3 cost cube and a 2 cost Leroy, and then you play your Leroy, hit him for 6, cube it, Necrium Vial, and hit him for additional 24. Is that plausible? Two turns of preparation, which includes does 4 cards, and you gotta do it over 3 turns, and taunt gets in the way. There's better OTK than this. You can make an OTK this with this uninterruptible OTK, aside from taunts. Yeah, I guess taunt is pretty much. Taunt is a disruption on the OTK. 1 star. Academic Espionage. Shuffle 10 cards from your opponent's class into your deck. They cost 1. So you basically get 10 random cards that cost 1. It's a freaking lottery. For this to be good, first you sacrifice 4 mana when you're playing it and do nothing. And then you're drawing random crap, and then that random crap needs to be like a high cost card that benefits you in that situation. Needs a lot of draw. Would I play this in a Miracle Rogue deck? I wouldn't. Would I base a deck around random crap being shuffled in my deck? This card synergizes with some Elec, crazy Elec. Wait, I'm gonna find it. It's a neutral beast. Where is it? There it is, Augmented Elec. So you can play this on turn 7, or even a follow-up. It's pretty reasonable that a 3 mana 4 health guy lives to see another day. Then you play Academic Espionage and you get double the value. But it's random crap that costs 1. Opponent's class. Yeah, any of the 9 classes. I mean, class cards are generally better statted, better costed than neutral cards. It costs too much for a meme. I mean, it's not necessarily a meme. And you would want to put a lot of card draw in your deck so you can then cycle through your regular costed cards so you can get those random ones, and then you hope it's big cards that are cheaper for a bunch. Doesn't seem plausible, and you have to sacrifice a turn to do this. And I will build a deck around it. 1 star. Blight Noozle Crawler. Death Rattle summon a 1/1 ooze with poisonous and rush. So you just kill it on your own turn and then deal with the poisonous rush with the ooze, with whatever you want. You ping it, you hit it with a dagger. It's not reliable, and Rogue has pretty good removal in Wildspine Slayer. 1 star. Necrium Blade. Trigger the death rattle of a random enemy minion. So Rogue got a weapon, he got a Fiery War Axe with an effect. Trigger a death rattle. Rogue doesn't play any death rattles right now. I saw someone play an Egg Rogue, Savage, I think. He would love this card. I'm not sure if I can take Egg Rogue seriously. Anyways, where was I? Necrium Blade. Oops. Necrium Blade. You could play Kobold Illusionist, activate it, get a 1/1 Meligos. You'd have 6 mana left over. Then you play I'll get 2 Meligoses. 3 Meligoses. Necrim Vial. And then you need 1 mana spell that deals damage. And then you prep into Eviscerate and deal some damage. I don't know. As a 3 mana 3/2, it's not too bad. It's a death rattle, so it takes time to activate. It has a delay. Current rogue lists don't utilize any death rattle. You can somewhat curve into Myra Rotspring because of the delay. And then activate her death rattle. Oh, by the way, Myra is on 1 star, definitely. I'll come back to her later. I need to discuss Necrim Blade. Necrim Blade cannot activate Melkhior because he's still on the board. So that's not a utility for that. I mean, of all the death rattle crap rogues got, this one has the most potential because it's most reasonable. It's decent by its own. It's a 3 mana 3/2 weapon. That's not that outrageous. It's fair, and then this is, yeah, fair doesn't cut it in Hearthstone. It needs to be insane. I'm rating it 1 star. It kind of looks like a 7/1. Power Hopper. I've given this some thought. I think it's going to be. I think you will be able to make a like tier 4 deck. It's gonna be played. It's gonna see play. It's reminiscent of Jade mechanics. When Jade plays out by itself, you need support cards to make this work. But it goes twice as fast, and it's gonna be a meme deck. It's gonna be played a lot. I rated 2 stars. It makes a crappy deck by its own, and it's gonna be played a while. The only question is how fast are people gonna get bored of it. Chris Chemist, combo, give a random minion +4 attack. I mean, you could put it in Odd Rogue, but they already have a bunch of 5 cost cards. Scalebane, Wild Spine, Fungal Mancer, or whatever it's called, the Cobalt card. This one does most immediate. Yeah, but you can't play it on turn 5. That's the biggest difference. You cannot do it with Wildspine either, but Wildspine's effect is insane. Wildspine Slayer is actually an insane card. This card is meh. You can play it on 5. If it said Battlecry, then we'd have something to talk about, but like this, I mean, there's some reason to put it, to combo it and deal more damage on the turn you play it, other than Scalebane and wait for the value. And I'll give it 2 stars. It has some merit. Violet Haze, and 2 random death rattle cards to your hand. 3 mana, 2 random crap. Wow, it's in reverse than the mages. Like, this is supposed to be a bit more specific, so you can play a death rattle themed deck. Sorry. But then it doesn't work. I'm giving it 1 star, maybe even 0 stars. No, it's not as shitty as that one. I'm giving it 1 star. Lab Recruiter, shuffle 3 copies of a friendly minion into your deck. It's a battle cry. It gives you potential to go infinite, but you don't want to go infinite with Rogue. And if you wanted, you can already go infinite with Rogue with Kingsbane. And Kingsbane is better for that purpose because it has lifesteal, it could sustain you. This offers no sustainability. It could give you some extra fuel if you drew all your crap with Myra's Unstable Element. But you still want to draw some crap after that. Doesn't seem too bad. It's vanilla stated, 2 mana 3/2. It's got that going for it. Maybe with Myra's Unstable Element. Because you want to refuel. There's some chance you're gonna have a single lab recruiter after you burn your whole deck. And then you ensure you can draw some minions for 3 more turns. Okay, that's but you can't play it in Odd Rogue. It's evenly it's even mana cost. What about Miracle Rogue? What would you shuffle? Was it a Nerubian card called in Rogue? Falderay Strider. It's not Nerubians, it's spiders, I'm sorry. Maybe that spider card, you could shuffle it back. Get more spiders. I don't know. I'm not too impressed. I'm giving it 2 stars. And that's all the cards for Rogue. I think its spell is really good. It has some potential with Pogo Hopper to make a new archetype for Rogue. Obviously, with Pogo Hopper, you want to play Lab Recruiter and Shadow Steps and whatnot. Cheat Death, the Rogue secret. Chris Chemist might see some play, and other cards are garbage, I think. Moving on, Shaman. The Stormbringer. Transform your minions into random legendary minions. At first I thought, well, if I got a bunch of minions out, I could just play Bloodlust and win the game. But on second thought, I mean, with Bloodlust you need to have them summoned and ready to attack, which is a lot different. With Stormbringer you could summon random crap this turn and turn them into legendaries immediately. What I mean with that is actually Voltaic Burst. You play 2 Voltaic Bursts, you get 4 little guys. Maybe you can kill some enemy totems with it. You don't want to rush them. You don't want to kill them into anything. And then you get random 4 legendary minions. Now, is that any good? You could get 4 Yseras, you can get 4 Deathwings. How reasonable is that? You can also get 4 Netpagels. I mean, I need a stat value, random legendary stat value. How many stats do you get for a random legendary? And it's 3 cards. High roll potential is insane, but it's not OTK. It's 3 cards, 9 mana, overloads you for 2, and you get some. You could get a crazy board. Maybe you don't. Maybe you get Blood Mage Thalnos, Netpagel, I don't know, Millhouse, and I mean Millhouse is not bad, but it's just a 4/4. And I don't know. I'll come back later to Stonebreaker. It's a legendary, so it's a one-off. You shouldn't build a whole deck around it. But if you had like a token shaman, someone who summons a lot of minions. Currently we have a deck that can summon a lot of minions in shaman, which is even shaman, and this is an odd statted card. Do you make a completely new archetype with this? I'll come back later to it. I want to comment on other shaman cards, and for now it's one, but I want to see if there's some synergy I missed. Electrostorm Surge. Battlecry. Your next spell this turn casts twice. So, on 6 mana you can do 10 damage with Lava Burst. That's fine, I guess. Finisher. It's oddly costed, so you're not gonna play it in... You wouldn't wanna play it in... Maybe you would. Do you play it in the... what's it called? Shadowwalk Shaman. You can get double Volcano, which is usually an overkill. The double Hex is not optimal. Double Lightning Storm. That would be a really good board clear. You get through Divine Shields, you get through... if there's some cheap death rattles, you could death rattle and then hurt the next minion. What else? What other spells does Shadowwalk use? You could use Lightning Bolts. That's not unheard of. What else? What else? What else? Farsight. It's a battle cry. Technically, Shadowwalk will trigger it, and it won't do anything. It's not that bad. And maybe some other kind of... It doesn't... It's a legendary card. No, never mind. It doesn't have to have any synergy with the legendary spell. There's just a mind fart, I guess. Definitely has potential. Standing is fine. 3 mana, 3/3. Relatively cheap if you want to use the Battlecry on the same turn. Maybe some aggressive usage. Maybe some Shudderwock usage. Man, legendaries are hard to evaluate. I should come back to them last. It's 2 for now. Let's look for some more potential synergies. Thunderhead, 4 mana, 3/5. After you play a card with Overload, summon 2 1/1 Sparks with Rush. So important thing to note is that it's even costed and that it's elemental, which both play a role in even Shaman because it uses some elemental synergies. But does even Shaman currently play any Overload cards? And the answer is no. It doesn't play a single Overload card. You could play a reasonable card to play in this situation would be, what's it called? Zap. Especially because you can play it on the same turn. You play Thunderhead and get immediate value. There is some space too in even Shaman. Last season I played even Shaman to Legend. There's definitely some modifications you can do to the standard list, especially with the Corpse Taker synergies. Did I dump Corpse Taker altogether? I know I put in some what's it called? Crazed Cultist. What's that card called? Join or Die. Card Stone, join, or die. Cult Master, yes. Where was I? Yeah, you could dump some cards. Vicious Skellyhide is definitely an option to dump out, but nothing else. You need to put in at least two of those guys, and then two Zaps, and then you would want to have some even more overload. Two Zaps are not enough. You would need more overload cards. What else? Let me quickly see some even overload cards. Overload. Stoneforged Axe. Maybe. And that's it. Stoneforged Axe is the only even costed overload card other than Crushing Hand, which makes no sense in even Shaman. And I mean, effect is decent, but it's not that. It's not game breaking. And the fact that it's an elemental, it's fine, but also not game breaking. Summoning Sparks. It's gonna be tried in Even Shaman. It definitely has the Even Shaman vibe, but I don't think it's gonna improve it by any. You could play this thing. But is it worth putting it in? What's it called? Beakered Lightning. In Even Shaman. In AoE. It doesn't use AoE. Would it use it if you can? Not enough overload for it to be worth. You need to have more overload cards to make it work, and then which means you will have to dump a bunch of cards. Like you need to change 6 cards from the list in Even Shaman to make it work. I don't think you can fit it in. 1 star rather. Omega Mind, Battle if you hand 10 mana crystals, your spells have lifesteal this turn. Shadowwalk doesn't need it, and Even Shaman doesn't need it. I don't think Control Shaman, what was it called? Bogchamp Shaman was a meme for a while. I don't think it's coming back, and I think it's gonna use this. It's reminiscent of that card. Hella Zeal, the something. Where's that card anyway? Did it rotate out? Oops. Omega Mind, 1 star. Eureka! Summon a copy of random minion from your hand. Even Shaman is not gonna use it. Shadowwalk's not gonna use it. Are you going to get a other controlled style Shaman? And is it going to be better than Shadowwalk? I doubt it. You could summon a Melkhior for 6 mana, and then do Melkhior, Lava Burst, and Lightning Bolt for average amount of damage. I'm not seeing it. 1 star. Storm Chaser. Draw a spell from your deck that costs 5 or more. It's an even costed Shaman card, but I wouldn't put it in Even Shaman because it doesn't have expensive spells. You can put it in Shadowwalk, and have a greater chance of drawing your Volcano. I think that's reasonable to put 1 star, one copy of it in Shadowwalk. I mean, if you put 2 copies, one is gonna. There's a high chance that one is gonna fumble. I think one copy is reasonable, and I think Shadowrock Shaman is a meta-defining archetype. You can play control decks because of it. I mean, like classical control decks are highly hindered because of the existence of that archetype, and I think they're gonna run it. And only question is if Shadowrock is going to die. Is Control Warrior going to obliterate Shadowrock Shaman and become the new benchmark for control stuff? I'm gonna give it 4 stars because multiple factors. Shaman, I think Shadowrock Shaman is going to go down in popularity. It's not going to be as influential as it used to be, and you're putting on 1 copy of it, and there's some potential that Shadowrock Shaman goes away altogether. We'll take Burst. 1 mana, 1/1 Sparks with Rush Overload. It's an odd costed card, so you can't use it in even Shaman, and you're not gonna use it in Shadowwalk. I don't think you're gonna use this in Shadowwalk, but maybe some Shadowwalk usage because it's 1 costed. What's other 1-drops in Shadowwalk? Glacial Shards are better. And there's Thunderhead. I think the Sparks are elementals. Let me check that real quick. Spark, yeah, it is an elemental, so you could make this in like an elemental shaman dex, but elemental shaman was really bad. I don't think this is gonna make it any better. There's more elementals. Let me see this other elemental and then I'll give it a group rating. And more elementals. There's 3 more elemental cards, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for elemental shaman to be relevant. Menacing Nimbus, Battlecry, add a random elemental to your hand. Random elementals. There's some crappy elementals. There's some bad ones. The stats are suboptimal. I'm not seeing it. Would you put it in your even shaman? I don't think you want extra cards in your turn 2. On turn 2 you want to build a board, get ahead with tempo, not value. It's not a good 2-drop. It's a 2-drop that you don't want to play on turn 2. Yeah, pretty much. So this one is not good, this one is not good, this one better be amazing if you want an elemental shaman archetype. Elementary reaction, draw a card, copy it if you played an elemental last turn. Huh, it is actually decent. 2 mana, draw 2, but you gotta play it in an elemental deck, which is a great hindrance. This card is actually okay. Would I play it in even shaman? It competes obviously for a spot with elemental, what it's called, Earth and Might, and I think Earth and Might is better. You get stats in the single card, and you can play Earth and Might. You can play this without the condition, but this card without a condition is really terrible. It's just cycle, And Earth Mouth without condition could be pretty good. You can get a trade +2/+2 for 2 mana. It's reasonable. And the added bonus is bonus, I guess. I don't think it's going to. I don't think any of these cards are going to make it into. Elemental tag is good. Maybe. Maybe both of those. I could see myself part with Vicious Scalehide. Yeah, Vicious Scalehide is really a thorn in my eyes. Yeah, I could get a Vicious Scalehide and a Sigil Corpse Taker. And add Nimbuses. What about Elementary Reaction? Would I play it over Earthen Might? No. Okay, so these are the elemental package. I mean, I guess Storm Chaser is elemental, but I don't think it's relevant for Storm Chaser, the elemental tag. And I already reviewed Thunderhead, which is crippled by this overload condition. Okay, so the rest of the elemental package. We'll take Burst, 1 star. Menacing Nimbus. I'm giving it 5 stars. I think it's a good addition in Even Shaman. Elementary Reaction, it would be decent, but Earthen, and maybe even without Earthen Might. Earthen Might is better. Does similar stuff, but I think it's more reliable. And Beakered Lightning, I don't think even Shaman needs this. If it's gonna trade, it's gonna trade with abundance of minions it has. Make a bunch of minions, play totems and wolves, and then do good trades. I think. You can't cut enough cards for Thunderhead to be viable. 1 star. Overview of oh crap, I'm not done. Storm Surge. Is there gonna be an elemental deck? No. Do I want to play this in Shadowwalk Shaman? Maybe. Shadowwalk Shaman is a meta-defining deck, but it's on a down. It's going down in popularity, I think, and it's got like this kind of nerf, and this card will maybe be played in it. So I'm giving it 2 or 3. 3, I guess. And there's the Stormbringer. Shadowwalk doesn't want to play it. Even there's no like spamming elemental shamans. You can't build a deck around it. There's no deck currently that could use it. Fit it in. 1 star. So that will be the card ratings for Shaman. What's the overview? I think Storm Chaser is a one-off good addition for Shadowwalk. Menacing Nimbus. If I played, I mean, I had enough of even Shaman, but if I were to play it, I will definitely try Menacing Nimbus in it. And Electro Storm Surge could be an addition for Shadowwalk. Maybe in some Shadowwalk lists. Synergizes with Volcanoes and Farsights and Thunderstorm. Moving on. So, Warlock, Dr. Morrigan. 8 mana 5/5. That turtle swap this with a minion from your deck. There's some convoluted way where you can get infinite Dr. Morrigans. Thinking about it makes my head hurt, so 1 stars. 1 star, rather. Solarium. Legendary spell. Draw 3 cards. At the end of your turn, discard them. Zoo decks could use this for card advantage. Obviously, you'll want to use this late game, so you can play all of this. Zoo cards are typically cheap, so more often than not, you can use 2 cards out of this. But if you draw this early game, it could be detrimental to your game plan. Zoo doesn't want to play this like before turn 6, 7. I don't know. People told me this card is going to be good. I'm not too sure. Also, there's a possibility to use this in a discard warlock, but no. Wait, discard warlock was a thing once, right? In Karazhan, you had Malkhazar's Imp. That was deemed the only good discard card ever, and it put the whole archetype together. Do you want to use this with Wakari's Sacrifice? The Warlock Quest. Warlock Quest is just not good enough. You can play this turn 2, discard 3 cards, solve half of your quest. Roughly half. I don't know. You're supposed to play this in Zoo, but I'm not convinced. It's a cheap card which you can play early. I'm really not convinced. You have your hero power. Where did you put a card that does the same as your hero power? It does it way better, sure. I am torn. I'm gonna go. I mean, just to make things fun, I'm gonna give a shitty rating to it. 1 star. It's not gonna be played in even Zoo. Not even in Zoo. That is. Ectomancy. Summon copies of all minions you control. The thing with this is you're not gonna have like 2 minions out at the same time, and then you play this. You're gonna have 1 minion which you pulled from Possessed Lackey or something like that, and if you want to copy that, you'll just use Faceless Manipulator, and Faceless Manipulator has many other uses, so compared to Faceless Manipulator, which you can play in Q block, you're never gonna play this. You could play this in Even Lock because it's even costed. And what would you copy then? Dread Infernals? Are you gonna have 2 of them? You can copy whatever you get from Death Knight. What's it called? Blood River Gul'dan. But you don't need to follow up to Gul'dan. Gul'dan is powerful as it is. You don't need to follow up to make it more powerful. 1 star. Omega Agent. Battle Cry, if you have 10 mana crystals, summon 2 copies of this minion. This minion would work in a Zoo environment, but Zoo doesn't want to wait till 10 mana. There's hand buffing, and you can hand buff this with Soul Infusion, and since Soul Infusion buffs the leftmost minion, Omega Agent, if it waits till turn 10, it's likely to remain the leftmost minion, and it's gonna get the Soul Infusion, but you don't want to wait till turn 10 with Zoo. I don't think. And you're not gonna play this in any other. You wouldn't play this in any other archetype. 1 star. Nether Soul Buster. Melkhior, gain +1 attack for each damage your hero has taken this turn. It's a demon, 3 mana, 1/5. A warlock has got some good self-damage synergies, and I think it's going to further the archetype of self-damaging and self-healing. And I think... Do you play Kalaseth in Healzoo? Yeah, you do. That's not important, I guess. You can play this with Kalaseth. To be honest. I think this is gonna be staple in Zoo. There's some crazy stuff you can do with this. I'm rating it. And Zoo is a really good deck. I'm rating it 5 stars. Void Analyst. Death Rattle, give all demons in your hand +1/+1. It competes for the spot in the deck with Kalaseth. The good thing is, if you get rid of Kalaseth, you could run Void Analysts, you could run Spirit Bomb, which have more natural synergy with your other cards. Give all demons in your hand +1/+1. It's a hand buff, and it's not good on turn 2 if you play it on turn 2. And it's Death Rattle, delayed effect. Its main hindrance is its 2 mana cost. Bloody Kalaseth is just too good. And the hand buff was never that. I'm just speaking from past experience here. Hand buff was never, and it's demon only, and Zoo tends to run a lot of non-demon minions. That's why it's called Zoo. It runs stuff from everywhere. 1 star. Soul Infusion. Give the leftmost minion in your hand +2/+2. This card, you can play it on its own. It's a delayed buff, but you get it for kinda cheap, but that's not how you wanna do it. You wanna combo it with Doubling Imp, you wanna combo it with what's it called? Serenite Chain Gang, which you already run in Zoolock, Healzoo, whatever you wanna call it. And what else? I mean Omega Agent, but you're not gonna run Omega Agent in Zoo. I think this will make the cut in Zoo decks. 5 stars. It is the ugliest 5 I ever drew. Okay. Doubling Imp. Melkhior. Summon a copy of this minion. Synergizes with Soul Infusion. Synergizes with Kalaseth. Synergizes with everything. This card is great. It's a demon. It's gonna make its way into Zoo, and I'm rating it 5 stars. Demonic Project. Each player transforms a random minion in their hand into a demon. 1 star. You're paying 2 mana for some random crap. Yeah, you could sabotage combo decks, but the chance is not high enough, and you're not always facing combo decks. Okay, Spirit Bomb. 2 mana, deal 4 damage, and deal 4 damage to your hero. To a minion, so you can target face with this. That's fine, I guess. You can turn the hero damage as an upside with Demonic Buster, or lower yourself enough to play what's it called? 4 mana 7/7 taunt. Pitiful Mortal. What's it called? Oh great, my Hearthstone shut down. I'm just gonna Google 4 mana 7/7 and see where that leads me. 4 mana. 7/7. No, this Blood River. Hooked River. What's this? Some crap just activated. But its main problem is Kelset exists. And this card is not that great. Are you gonna remove Kelset to run this? Probably not. Maybe I made a huge mistake here. Self-damage. I keep thinking of the stream. There was that 1 mana card that deals 5 damage to you. And Zoo could definitely use it. I don't know. I really like the design. I like the self-damage thing. I like the idea of suicide warlock. It keeps getting stronger the more damage it is. Spirit bomb. Freaking 2 mana. Problem is, if you cut Kelset, then you want to put like a bunch of two cost cards, not 2 copies. I guess you could put 4 copies because Homunculus is really good. Vulgar Homunculus rather. But if you're cutting all that and you want to put all of this, hey, it's a decent card. I'm giving it a pity 2 stars rating. Kelset is a thing. Now Warrior. Now that's a real spicy class. Oh, I'm not done with Warlock yet. A quick overview. We got some Zoo cards and hand buffing is good with Doubling Imp. Yeah, if you're gonna run Doubling Imp, Soul Infusion, and then Kelset is gonna be a thing. Spirit Bomb is 1 star. Zoo got some great additions, I think. Other classes got nothing. Other archetypes, rather. So Zoo is gonna get some hand buff mechanics. And Soul Buster. Anyways, moving on. Warrior. I have great hopes for Warrior because I think we'll be able to make a control style warrior which will be able to withstand Shadow Walk. First card, Boomship, legendary spell. Summon 3 random minions from your hand, give them rush. 1 star. If I play something that's so highly costed, I wanted to win me the game, not to get ahead on the board. Random minions also means I have to play like big stuff only. You could play the Devil Swords because it has charge and the battle guide doesn't trigger. And you could pull 2 Devil Swords with this and deal 14 damage to the face. I guess that's something. But 14 damage isn't that high, I guess. We have to go Alexstrasza into this, and you have a you have a Direwolf and 2 Devil Swords, and that's at least 15 damage, and that's a 2 card, 2 turn combo. Yeah, a lot of cards have. No, I don't think that's viable. Dr. Boom, Mad Genius, Melkhior. For the rest of the game, your mechs have rush, and you have 5 different hero powers. They're all pretty good. Okay, so Warrior is an interesting choice here because he's already got some pretty good like hero power based mechanics. You have the only viable warrior archetype as of right now is Taunt Warrior, which already uses the quest, which makes its hero power deal 8 damage to a random enemy, and it uses Garish Hero, which also changes its hero power and gives you a different hero. What else? And then Dr. Boom. I think Dr. Boom is better than Garish Scourge Lord. Its hero power is much stronger, doesn't get the axe, and gets the permanent mech stuff. Would I put this card in a Taunt Warrior? They would compete for their hero power, which are both decent, and you wouldn't run Dr. Boom just for its constant effect. It's a controlling constant effect which makes you want to play mechs. Can you play this card without mechs? Can you play this card without taunts? Do you have taunt mechs? Will this card make us play Taunt or rather Mech Warrior? It's got one good class mech in Dynamatic. Other two are not so great. Omega Assembly for value. Omega Weapons Project is a great control card. Eternium Rover is a mech, I guess. Control style cheap mech. I don't know. I want to believe. It sounds really fun. And with the addition of Azalina to counter Shadowhawk, will this be a new control benchmark? Or is Taunt Warrior just better than this? What would you... Alright, let's say it like this. We have a Control Warrior with Dr. Boom and a bunch of mechs, and we have Taunt Warrior, completes the quest, gets the Die Insect hero power. Which one would win? Dr. Boom with mechs or Taunt Warrior? If you play Dr. Boom in a control fashion, which is implied with this card, bunch of mechs, you control the board, play the classic controller with some mechs, you're not going to out-tempo anything. That goes for Taunt Warrior as well. He completes his quest eventually. Starts burning your ass with 8 damage every turn. What do you get? You get a bunch of hero powers. We need to compare those hero powers to Taunt Warrior hero power. Sulfuras. What's it called? Boom hero powers. Is there a picture with all of them? Yes, there is. So these are his hero powers. Okay, ignore the first one. That's just a token hero power. These 5 exchange from one another. 3 microbots. How does that compete with Ragnar's hero power. It makes it difficult to hit anything relevant because they get in the way. Deal 3 damage, weaker than die insect. Less shield, gain 7 armor, just enough to sustain you from Ragnaros. Kaboom! Deal 1 damage to all enemies, weaker than Ragnaros. Delivery drone. Discover mech. That should be better than Ragnar's hero power because it can hit a couple of times. So what's the verdict? 3 hero powers are good, 2 hero powers are bad. So it's like 50-50. Micro Squad can be answered with whirlwind effects from the opponent to ensure he hits you in the face. I'm not sure, honestly. His mechs are not that good. What about surviving aggro? Don't worry, you're solving your quest. This card should be better versus aggro because, yeah, this card is better versus aggressive decks, like some sort of control mech warrior should hold its own versus aggressive decks. Could do something versus taunt warrior, and then you get to the point. What are you going to do about? What are you going to do about Shudderwalk? What can you do with Azalina? There is this great card in Weapons Project, so that saves you from Meligos Druids. But we need a good battle cry. Battle cry that gives you armor. This is not a battle cry. So would I fit in? It always needs to be, what's it called, Blood Razor and that taunt guy that summons raptors, Cornet Sentry, Blood Razor, and Dry Whisker Armorer. Those 3 cards coupled with Azalina lets you survive Shudderwalk. Would I fit it in a control style warrior with Max? I wouldn't. Would I play Dr. Boom in a tempo-oriented mech warrior deck? With security rover that gets rushed, which is a terrible card, but maybe after rush from Dr. Boom, it has some potential. You build a mech deck and then everything rushes into everyone. And you control the board with that. You play tempo and you have good hero powers. But not always drawing Dr. Boom. Is a mech deck good on its own, and Dr. Boom is like the card that tips it over to be really good. Okay, here comes the controversy. I think Taunt Warrior has better matchups, and I don't want to run Dr. Boom in a Taunt Warrior deck. It's a really cool card, but it's not gonna survive this meta. 1 star. Let's make things spicy. Beryllium Nullifier, magnetic, can be targeted by spells or hero powers. So this card lets you magnetize huge mechs, which can be targeted by single target spells. They can still die to Volcano, but it has high HP, so it might survive Volcano actually. It can die to Brawls, it can die to... and it can be silenced. And it can be Voodoo Dolled. And if shit ever gets out of hand, people are gonna play EMP Operative. And you want to magnetize it onto something. It's a 7 mana buff that gives you a bunch of health and can be targeted. I mean, I had some matches where like opponent had giant untargetable minions and I couldn't get rid of them. But you gotta do it in a mech deck. And if I gave Dr. Boom 1 star, I don't think there's gonna be a mech warrior. 1 star. Super Collider, after you attack a minion, you force it to attack one of its neighbors. There's Blood Razor, which is one of the best weapons ever printed for warrior. Even better than, like, I think it's better than Death's Bite, which was a crazy card. And there's Weapons Project, which has some great utility for warrior. And that's already 4 weapons for warrior. I don't think Super Collider is very situational. I don't think it's gonna fit in. 1 stars. Security Rover. I already rated all the mech warrior cards. What did I rate them? I rated them unworthy. This would maybe fit in a mech warrior deck, but there's no such deck. 1 star. Dynamic. Deal 5 damage to random split against all minions except mechs. So you could play this in a mech warrior, you could play this in any sort of control warrior. Now the question is, would I play this in Taunt Warrior? Synergizes with Cornered Sentry, synergizes with Acolyte of Pain, synergizes with Eternium Rover. Do I have space for it in Taunt Warrior, and what would I cut? Anyways, what's my final verdict on this? I'm giving it 1 star. It's a great card. Control Mech Warrior is not going to be a thing. Thanks, Shadowwalk. Omega Assembly. Discover a mech. If you have 10 mana crystals, keep all 3 cards. Same verdict as before. 1 star. Weapons Project. Each player equips 2/3 weapon and gains 6 armor. Taunt Warrior is already struggling for cards. Maybe you would fit 1 off in it. You could maybe fit one of these in, especially if there's a lot of... I mean, the viability of this card mostly depends on the frequency of Malygos Druids. If there's a bunch of Malygos Druids, you play this, you win every time. If there's no melee druids, this card is substantially worse. So Malygos Druid can be a real menace from time to time. And maybe I'll put it's a good tech card. It's a good tech card for Taunt Warrior and for any other possible control archetype in a warrior, which I predict there's not gonna be any. I'm giving it 3 stars. A solid tech card and a solid control-like card. Moving on, Rocket Boots. Give a minion rush, draw a card. Give a minion rush. I have no idea which deck would I put it in. It's too expensive. Give a minion rush. Draw a card. One star, doesn't fit in any deck, and card is not that good by itself. Eternia Rover. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 2 armor. It's this little bot. It's a shame Mech Warrior is not going to be a thing. 1 star. And a quick overview of Warrior. I really had high hopes for Mech Control Warrior, but more I thought about it, the less the more I thought about it, the less I could believe in it. Shudderwalk is too oppressive. You have deals. I'm counting that Shudderwalk is not going away. If Shudderwalk goes away, this becomes the new control benchmark. But I think it's going away. And it can't deal with Shudderwalk, but Taunt Warrior can. And if you're gonna play a control style warrior, you're gonna play the Taunt one. That's my verdict. And Taunt Warrior gets a decent card in Weapons Project. It's difficult to say what would you cut to get it, but you would fit 1 in, or maybe even 2, depending on how many Malygos Druids there are. That's it. Moving on to the neutral cards. Mechathune. The turtle, if you have no cards in your deck and on battlefield, destroy the enemy hero. So you can combo this with another cute little neutral mech, which is called the Galvanizer. There it is. You can play this after you drawn the Mechathune to attempt to make it cheaper. And it opens some combo possibilities. I'm only seeing the Rogue pulling this off. I mean, it's a 2-star for sure. Yeah, it's only 2 stars. There's gonna be some memes. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. You can make a deck based solely around this card because it literally says win the game. 2 stars, Mechathune. It can be done. Ziliax. Magnetic Divine Shield, Taunt, Lifesteal Rush. 5 mana, 3/2. That's a lot of keywords. And you can fit it in a bunch of decks. It's like it reminds people of what's it called? Melkhior, but it says rush instead of charge. It has lifesteal instead of Wind Fury, and it costs a bunch less. It doesn't have a lot of health, but it's somewhat mitigated with its Divine Shield. If this, and you can use it as a buff. on an existing minion. Get all this crap. If this card read 5 mana spell, deal 3 damage, heal for 3, and get a minion and get a 3/2 minion with taunt. And get a 3/2 mech with taunt. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Heal for 3. That's basically deal 3 damage to a minion. That's like Life Drinker, but it goes to a minion. So it's more control oriented. It's a control oriented mech. Ziliax. I'm not seeing it. 1 star. Subject 9, Battlecry. Draw 5 different secrets from your deck. So an obvious fit for this is Hunter. It has Beast Tag, 5 mana. You're not gonna draw. You could put in 5 different secrets. You wouldn't draw 5 cards every time. Did I say Secret Hunter or Spell Hunter? Obviously not Spell Hunter because you would play a minion. But if sometimes you could play Secret Hunters with actual minions. And Subject 9 would be one of those minions. And it's 5 mana. If it said 5 mana 4/4, draw a secret, you wouldn't play this. If it said 5 mana 4/4, draw 2 secrets from your deck, you still wouldn't play it. If it said 3 secrets, you would consider it. I mean, its high roll is pretty insane. Draw 5 cards, but they all have to be secrets. Is this card fits into a Secret Hunter deck, which also carries minions. A Secret Hunter with or without this card wouldn't be a top tier deck, but it's not a meme status either. 2 or 3 stars. Let's say 3. I'm giving 3 stars. There, you can make a deck with this. Whizbang and Wonderful. You started the game with one of Whizbang's wonderful decks. I'm giving this card a 6-star rating. It's wonderful. Blizzard should make more cards like this. It's like a challenge card. You put this. It's like a challenge card for experienced players. You make a deck with this, and you have some fun on the ladder. See if you can hit legend. Streamers that are gonna have a bunch of fun with this. Newer players, if they get this card by accident, they can try out all the different decks there are. Play with a bunch of cards. Really cool concept. Good job, Blizzard. Harbinger Celestia. 4 mana, 5/6 stealth. After your opponent plays a minion, become a copy of it. People compare this with Mirror Entity, but Mirror Entity is good because you don't see what it is. Mirror Entity is good because it's 50-50. Should I play a crappy minion or should I play a crappy spell? And with this, you always know you just have to play a crappy minion to get around it. There's no point of, and it costs 1 more. I mean, you could get over the 4 mana cost because it has some upsides over regular Mirror Entity, but since it's face up Mirror Entity, it's too easily played around. 1 star. Star Aligner, Battlecry. If you control 3 minions with its own health, deal 7 damage to all enemies. So if you played it in Shadowwalk Shaman and you played, what's it called? Prince Kelseth, and your first Shadowwalk you play would be 7 health. And okay, there's some chance if you play this in Shadowwalk and you play this on an empty board, and then you play your your 7/7 Shudderwalk, which you're not going to have every game, and you get a bunch of them copied, and then this guy triggers, and then you deal 7 damage to enemy's whole board. It can be done, but it's really unnecessary. Other than that, I don't see how you're going to fulfill this condition. If it said win the game, maybe we had something to talk about, but we already have one win the game card. 1 star. Holomancer. After your opponent plays a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. So if you're playing a minion with no effect, and you play into this knowingly, it's a 5 mana, 3/3 and 1. 3/3 and 1. So that's not any good. Even if you play 2 minions into it. 3 mana, 1. It's crap. 1 star. C4 Bomber. Shuffle a bomb in your opponent's deck. When drawn, explodes for 5 damage. Well, the damage is really delayed. It might never... most of the time, it will never even trigger. So... and you're playing a 5 mana 5/5, 1 star. EMP Operative. Destroy a mech. This chick is really high maintenance. 5 mana 3/3. Destroy a mech. I mean, I was thinking about her. If mechs ever got out of control, and you need some tech card, but from what I saw here, I don't think mechs are gonna get out of control. So 1 star. Mechs are not going to be a problem, not in this expansion at least. That's my prediction. Loose Specimen, 5 mana 6/6. Battlecry deals 6 damage randomly split among other friendly minions. So if we're playing this on an empty board, we get a slightly overstated minion. If we play this in some sort of control warrior to hurt our own stuff, to hurt... I think Control Warrior would rather play that other card, which he doesn't play. The... what's it called? Dynametic. It's 1 damage less, it costs the same. Stats don't matter for Control Warrior that much. The Beast Tag. Would you play this in any sort of hunter? You wouldn't. 1 star. That's a really ugly number 1. Omega Defender. 4 mana 2/6 taunt. If you have 10 mana crystals, gain +2 attack. So it's on turn 10. It's 4 mana 12/6. And so what? What are you gonna do on turn 10? You have 6 mana left over. Are you gonna pull some crazy combo with it? You can charge it. 1 star. Weaponized Pinata. Death Rattle. And a random legendary minion to your hand. 4 mana 4/3. People compare this with Piloted Shredder. It's nowhere near Piloted Shredder. There's gonna be clips on YouTube. Someone got some crazy legendary minion that won in the game. It's a random, so it can be from any class. There's one. I mean, it's not that crazy. 1 star. Augmented Relic. Whenever you shuffle a card into your deck, shuffle in an extra copy. Really cool design. It's really great. You can use this. I think the most obvious synergy is Hunter's Dire Frenzy. Because it's a beast, it works with it, and it curves into it. Dire Frenzy is a pretty cool card. Yeah, everything everything about these two cards says that they should be played together. They curve into each other. It gives you 6 3 mana 6/7s into your deck. That's decent. But we would need to have extra Dire Frenzy synergy. I mean, you can do it with boars. But do we have any additional augmented Alex synergies in Hunter? That's what I want to know. And I think the answer is no. What else? I mean, yes, I lied. You have another card in Hunter that says Shuffle, and it's Queen Carnessa. And that card's never gonna be good. There's no fucking way. And it doesn't matter. It shuffles 20 Raptors. Wait, I'm gonna pull it up. There it is. 15 Raptors into your deck. I don't think it really matters. 15 or 30 Raptors. And Rogue does some shuffling. You know, it also curves into Rogues, Felderized Strider. And it has synergy with Rogues, Lab Recruiter. I don't know, I'm giving it 2 stars. It's a real cool design. I don't care. I don't care if I miss it. I don't care that much. It's really cool. Crystallizer. Deal 5 damage to your hero, gain 5 armor. This card has 2 main uses. You could use it in a warrior, in any warrior deck, to convert your health into armor, which you can later use for shield slams and reckless flurry. And Warlock can use this for the self damage to drop himself below to 15 health or below to play the 4 mana 7/7 Hooked River, or to activate any of his to activate his Spellstone, and to activate the new demon card. I forgot what it's called, and I drew a number over it. The Buster, Nether something Buster. What it's called? Nether Soul Buster. I rated this card completely wrong. I'm gonna re-rate it into 2 star. Other cards have this hand buff synergy. It has a self-damage synergy. I'm just gonna do this. How do I do this? There you go. No one saw anything. There, you're gonna get 2 star rating. Crystallizer, 2 stars. Arcane Dynamo. Discover a spell that costs 5 or more. Discover. 6 mana 3/4. Damn, that's expensive. 5 or more. Big Mage could use this to get a big spell, and then what? It doesn't help your Dragon's Breath because it pulls a big spell from your deck. And honestly, I can't think of any other use. I mean, that's not a use. That's the only thing that came to mind, and even that doesn't work, so 1 star. Missile Launcher, Magnetic. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all other characters. So you put the 2 mana 2/2 Hunter. You can combo this with where is it? With Venomizer, and it makes it's a 8 mana 2 card combo which clears enemy's board every turn. It's repeated. You get a 8 mana 6/6 for 2 cards that casts Equality Pyro, and it's protected from it. It also hurts you and kills all your, yeah, that's Equality Pyro. It kills all your stuff. That's kind of cool. I guess Mech Warrior could use this if it were stronger, but I don't think it's strong enough for repeated whirlwind effect. But the thing with whirlwind effects, you play it because they're cheap. The original whirlwind, 1 mana. The new whirlwind on steroids, Warpath, 2 mana. This guy, 6 mana. And then you want it to live and to cast it again and again. It's not gonna work in Hunter, it's not gonna work in Warrior, 1 star. It's not gonna work in Hunter because Hunter could never pull off a control style deck. Mechanical Whelp. Death Rattle. Summon a 7/7 Mechanical Dragon. So that's a Death Rattle. It's like an egg. This card is comparable with Mechano Egg. It costs 1 more. It's much easier for it to activate. And it summons a minion that's slightly weaker than Mechano Eggs. Wait, I'm gonna pull it up so you can see it side by side. Mechano Egg. There it is. And Mechano Egg is Paladin specific card. Mechanical Whelp you can put in any deck. I really like the idea. And of course I like the idea of fucking mech dragons. Let's see what Mechanical Dragon looks like. If it has cool art, I'm rating it 2 stars. Not Mechanical Dragon Link. Mechanical Dragon, come on. Did I read that wrong? Mechanical Dragon. Google doesn't give me the result. I need to go to Hearthstone. Oh, there it is. I don't like the design. I don't like it. Why is it in pink fog? I don't like it. Could Death Rattle Rogue use this in egg-like fashion? Did we already have any similar egg effects? Like a giant Death Rattle? There was that guy 2 mana 2/2. No, rather 5 mana 2/2, which gives you an 8/8, but it has to die on your opponent's turn from Frozen Throne. And that opponent turn was really detrimental. It has some potential as a giant egg which can activate itself. 2 stars. Spark Drill, Rush. Death Rattle, add 2 1/1 sparks with Rush to your hand. I mean, yeah, those stats. Oh, no, I'm done. It has Rush. So it's like a 6 mana, 5 damage removal, and then you get some. Sorry, and then you get some additional removals. You get some pings. And then you get some pings. Six mana deal 5 damage. This guy's like spell. His 6 mana deal 5 damage. It gives you a couple pings. I don't see it. 1 star. Yeah, Giggling Inventor, Battlecry, summon two, what's it called? Annoyatrons. And it's a 2-1, so it's a crappy body which summons two Annoya guys. Where did you put this on? You know, deck which wants to stall the game. And maybe with some mech synergies. You can't play this in Shadowwalk because it's a Battlecry, which you don't need. Melkhior, which will hinder your game plan. Maybe even token style. You get 3 guys for 5 mana. You like Token Druid or some aggressive variant. Odd Paladin. Shit do I know. These 2 guys are really resilient. This one is the basic body is weak, but it's well protected behind those taunts and divine shields. It's fairly costed because you're putting like 3 cards in 1 card. There's 2 Annoyatrons. They each cost 2 mana, so it's 4. And then you get a 2-1 guy, which is 1 mana. That's what you pay for a 2-1 body. I mean, you wouldn't play such a minion, but there it is. And all in 1 card. Another was played in a lot of decks. This could go into Odd Paladin. This could go into Taunt Druid. Too bad it doesn't work for, or maybe it's good it doesn't work for Taunt Warrior. I'm giving it 3 stars. Replicating Menace, Magnetic, that threat will summon 3/1/1 microbots. That's the most aggressively statted magnetic minion. They always give them high health and low attack, so they don't have too much of burst potential. This one is magnetic with low health, so if you already get a guy and you buff his attack and gives you more punching power to go face, and Death Rattle is good. You got more mech bodies. I think this is one of the best magnetic cards, and I'm not sure where would I fit it in, but I can clearly see the aggressive potential in this. I am rating it 3 stars. Galvanizer. We already mentioned this little guy. Reduce the cost of the mechs in your hand by 1. Is there gonna be a mech? I'm not seeing any mech decks. Can I use this in a... You can use it for Mechathune combo, which makes it a 2-star card. Part of a meme. Unpowered Mauler. Can only attack if it gets spelled this turn. You get 1 extra health and a huge downside. It's a mech, I guess. You remember what was a good mech before? The portal. Mech portal guy, which was mana 2/3, which makes all your mechs cheaper. 1 star. It doesn't hold a candle to him. Spark Engine. Battlecry, add 2 sparks into your hand. It has the same. There's Spark Drill and Spark Engine. This one makes more sense. It's a 2 mana, deal 2 damage removal, which gives you extra pings. But I don't see where would I play this card. 1 star. Bulldozer, 9 mana, 971 shield. It's a pack fill. It's a huge stated pack filler. 1 star. Damage Stegotron. Taunt. Deal 6 damage to this minion. So it's a 5 mana 5/6, which you can heal him up, and that's about it, I guess. Maybe cheat him out somehow to don't trigger Death Rattle, like the Katrina Hunter does with the Grizzlies. Witchwood Grizzly, whatever you call it. Five mana, 5/6. 6 mana. I mean, if you play it just like this, it's kind of crappy. Not too I don't know. I don't see any synergy. I mean, you can recruit it. You can recruit bigger stuff than this. I mean, if it costs like 4 mana and then the stats went down, and then you could maybe play it in. There's like stuff that recruits 4 mana stuff, but it's not that category. It's in a big minion category. There's nothing that would pull specifically this card. 1 star. Rusty Recycler. Taunt, lifesteal. It's a mech with lifesteal that has some potential. If mech warrior were a class, an archetype rather, maybe he could use this. Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't see any. 5 mana, 6 health. I don't see any utility for this. 1 star. War Gear. 5 mana, 5/5 magnetic mech. It's the highest attack. It's among the highest attack mechs. Comparable with Replicating Menace. Replicating Menace is a bit cheaper and has a good death rattle, but it's kind of worse on its own. War Gear on its own is, I'm giving it 2 stars. It's one of the best magnetic cards. Steel Rager, 4 mana, deal 5 damage. Is it better or worse than Spark Drill? I think it's actually better than this fucking card, but still 1 star. Piloted Reaper, death rattle, summon a random minion from your hand that costs 2 or less. Is it going to be the next Piloted Shredder? It has some potential in an aggressive mag deck. Who would run an aggressive mag deck? Maybe Warlock, but Zoo is better. It has some potential. Anything that's reminiscent of the old Piloted Shredder. Jesus. I'm giving it 2 stars. It has potential. Explodinator. Summon 2 Goblin Bombs. It's 4 mana, 3/2 that summons some eggs that are never gonna do much. It's an egg that deals phase damage. 1 star. Coppertail Imposter. It's a mech which hides, and then it's easy to play other mechs on it. You play this, and then on turn 5 you war gear it. Where's war gear? There's war gear, and that's 9 damage to the face on turn 5. That's nothing to scoff at. And it has potential for a mech deck. 4 mana, 4/4, 1 turn stealth. 1 star. I say 1 and write 2. I meant to say 2 star. Brainstormer. Melkhior, gain 1 health for each spell in your hand. 1 star. Why is it 1 star? If you play spell heavy deck, then you're not playing, maybe like Tempo Mage, you're gonna have a couple of spells in your hand. But on turn 3, you want to play at least 1 card, you're gonna have 2 or 3 or... If you have 2 spells, that's not good enough. If you have 3 spells, it's whatever. It's not reliable enough, and if you don't play it on turn 3, it's not worth it. Playing it on turn 4, whatever. You could just play a 4 mana minion with better stats than this guy. It has to be on turn 3 for it to be good, and you have to have the spells in your hand. It's too many conditions for it to be good in a like Tempo Mage or something. Microtech Controller, 3 mana, 2/1, summon 2 1/1 microbots. I think there's better ways for token mechs, and this body is not good enough, I think. Compare it with the Giggling Inventor. The Giggling Inventor, you pay 2 more mana and get so much more value. There's better stuff for mechs. 1 star. Kaboom Bot. Death Rattle deal 4 damage to random enemy minion. So you can hit face with it. Random enemy minion. There's... What's that GVG card? 5 mana. Ah, this one is 3 mana, but it has poor stats. And what? It goes to 1/1 minion and you're screwed. And you can't abuse this to deal like insane face damage. 1 star. Bronze Gatekeeper, 3 mana, 1/5, Magnetic Taunt. So, what's that? Silverback Patriarch stat line, but it's magnetic. So you can place this on some other mech. I don't know, magnetic is only good if you have high attack, I think. For good face damage. You're getting 1 star. Electrowrite. Battlecry, if you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, gain +1/+1. So... Big Spell Mage can get this like a reliable 3 mana 4/4, but Big Spell Mage doesn't want to play 3 mana 4/4s. And other decks are, if you want to go back to what's it called, Spiteful Summoner type decks, Spiteful Priest or Spiteful Druid. Maybe Spiteful Priest, because there's double the chance that you draw one of those cards, and by turn 3 you get a 3 mana 4/4. Is this enough to make a Spiteful Priest comeback? I don't know, maybe 2 stars. It makes sense in Spiteful Priest. Spiteful Priest is not a deck anymore, but I don't know. It used to be. Spring Rocket, deal 2 damage. 3 mana 2/1, deal 2 damage. It's like Iron Forge Rifleman or whatever. but it has worse stats but better damage, and it's a mech. Where would I play this? In like a tempo-oriented deck. If you pay 1 more mana, you get 4 mana. What's the Fire Plume Phoenix stat line? When you compare it with Fire Plume Phoenix, you play only 1 extra and you get such a better minion. This one has Mech Tribe, this one has Elemental Tribe. No, it's understated. And 1 health is really critical because it dies to any amount of damage. So that would be 1 star for Spring Rocket. That's an ugly number. There you go. Clock Scale Chemist, Stealth Divine Shield, 2 mana, 2/1. So it's an almost guaranteed double ping. I like those keywords and I like those stats. But what do I do with it? It seems like you could do something with it, but I don't know what would it be. Do you put it in Eon Shaman? I don't. It works with Corpse Taker, but I would think the Corpse Taker is among the weakest cards in Eon Shaman archetype. It's cool keywords, cool stat line, and I have no idea what would I do with it. 1 star. Toxicologist, Battlecry, give your weapon 1 attack, +1 attack rather. You can do it in Rogue, but not even Rogue. You can do it in Miracle Rogue. Buff your weapon a bit. Its mana cost is really unfortunate because if it were 3 mana 3/3, give your weapon, or maybe if you're going last and you could coin your hero power out and then you play this. But if you wanted the 2/2 weapon, you would just play Odd Rogue, and you don't have to waste a coin and a card to pull it off. You could do this in what's it called? Yeah, stats are also pretty poor. Where do these stats don't matter? They don't matter in Kingsbane Rogue, which is a meme deck. And I never played it, and I don't know if it's gonna work in it. Not a big fan of Kingsbane. 1 star. World Glider. So there are these Goblin Inventor cards. No, this one is a gnome. What's this one? Goblin? Gnome? And this one is a gnome with a lot of makeup. Yeah, those like inventors that summon bots. This one summons a Goblin Bomb. It's a terrible set of minion that summons a terrible token minion. 1 star. Upgradable Frame Bot. Really good stat line. I like the idea of playing this and then playing, what's it called? Replicating Menace. It doesn't even curve into it. Yeah, but I like the idea, like a huge 2-drop, which then receives attachments. I like this. I like this. I like him. You get 2 stars just because you're cool. Goblin Bomb. Wow, you can play this. What? No, this is just a token, right? This is not a card. You're kidding me. This isn't an actual card. Or is it? It's common. Is that a card? What's... Wait a minute. Yeah, it's an actual card. It's a common card. 1 mana 0/2. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Why did they bring this? This makes me really mad. This should have been zero mana cost. This is insulting. I almost want to rate it 0 stars. Yeah, I'm gonna do it 0 stars. This is the worst. Skaterbot. Skaterbot and someone do Avril, whatever you pronounce her name, memes. 1 star. Melkhior. Do you put this... Oh! You could put this in odd decks. Odd rogue, odd paladin. This synergizes in odd paladin with... what's it called? His magnetic card. Glowtron. But what would you cut? This card definitely has potential. It's like Corrupted Villager, but it's for every class, and it gives you mechs. This card is pretty good. Two stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, because I don't see any mech decks. No, I see mech decks and I see odd decks. 3 stars. There's a potential for mech decks, and you can put it in all odd styled decks. Just as a replacement for Argent Squire, it's the same, but you have some mech shenanigans you can pull off. Faithful Lumi, Battlecry, give a mech, friendly mech +1/+1. You would think he would have magnetic, but he couldn't give it magnetic because Gilda, what's it called? Glinda. What's... I'm gonna pull it up just a moment. Because of this lovely lady, this card couldn't have been, or could it be? You can still do it with Glinda in a deck that focus. You play Glinda and oh yeah, but you can't make it cheaper than 0, right? With the portal card. Your card costs 2 less, but not less than 0. You can do penguins and you can do giants because they cost 0 by themselves. Yeah, this card couldn't have costed 0. Yeah, that's the issue. We already have 1 mana, 1/1 magnetic, and it's even better with Skaterbot and also rush. You can rush whatever the mech you want. Faithful Lumi. Yeah, it's a necessary 1-drop, cute 1-drop of the... But they only had some 1-drops. There's Skaterbot, there's Melkhior. I think Melkhior is the best mech 1-drop. So Faithful Lumi gets 1 star. And there it is. Thanks for watching. Bye.